It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. Kicking off the show tonight, we heard something brand new from the Snake Eyes 7 release. Our friends from the north up in Canada with their latest release out on High Volume Music. Medicine Man is the name of the new CD, and the name of the tune there is called Speaking Ill of the Dead. And we just heard something there from Bombay Black from their Bullets and Booze release with Hell of a Time. And a guy that likes to publicly display his hell of a time on Facebook is our good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on there, drunkie?
What is up, sir? How are we? I'm sober. I'm drinking coffee.
I know, but for a guy who was suffering from the flu early in the week,
yeah,
and then pouring back Jack and Cokes on a Friday,
yeah,
it's amazing your recovery time.
Dude, not only was I pouring back Jack and Cokes, but see, we had 2 bottles of Jack Daniels last night. We had a bottle of Gentleman Jack that we were doing shots of.
That's the expensive stuff.
I don't know if it's expensive or not.
Well, I'm telling you, it's more expensive than just buying the straight-out Jack.
Okay. Well, we were doing shots of that, and then I bought a gallon of Jack Daniels.
You bought a gallon?
Yeah, I guess it's a gallon. Whatever the biggest bottle they sell is.
Do they sell Jack Daniels by the gallon?
Whatever's bigger than a fifth, because they had fifths, and then they had this bottle, and I grabbed that bottle.
Things must be pretty prosperous in the old Aiken IT world where you're buying gallons of Jack Daniels.
Things are fine over in Aiken IT world, that's for damn sure. They were fine enough for me to be able to afford $44 or whatever for a bottle of whiskey.
Okay.
But what we were doing last night is it was just me and Kelly, and we were doing shots of Gentleman Jack and then chasing them with the mixed drinks. So there was a lot of alcohol consumed last night, to say the least.
Yeah, I kind of assumed that. It's amazing that on Tuesday you're posting no calls, please, fighting the flu, and then 72 hours later you're guzzling back Jack Daniels.
Hey, you got to go for it when you got the opportunity. Yeah, I threw down probably a little harder than I wanted to, because boy, I was feeling kind of rough this morning.
I'm sure you were.
Ooh, this morning was a tough ride, man. Let me tell you. But I'm good now. I basically just I worked this morning, and I worked until about, I don't know, maybe like 3-4 o'clock, and then I just laid in bed watching ER reruns until it was time for the show.
Sure.
So I'm good.
Well, I talked to you on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
We did a little impromptu 15-minute recording for our good friend Scribble.
Sure.
For his explosion head or
psycho head blowout.
Yeah, something like that. His podcast.
Right.
And you were still kind of holding back a little bit, trying not to hack up a lung.
Yeah, I was still struggling a little bit.
And then within 24 hours, you were drinking Jack.
I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say I'm fully recovered, but fuck it. I've been locked down for fucking a year. Damn near a year. Somebody wants to party, I'll find a way. And I did. I was like, fuck this. And I'll be honest, it didn't even start out as a real drinking night thought. It started out as I got the offer to come over and she was going to cook. And you know, as a single guy, anytime somebody's willing to cook for you, you're taking that out. You're always going to take that offer.
I've never heard anyone using the term "she was going to cook to get blown."
Stop.
She was going to cook. Wink, wink.
Yeah. Well, that was it. There was some actual cooking that went down. Fucking filet mignon, man. It was good. It was good.
All right.
I had that was what was supposed to be going on. Was supposed to be a dinner, and dinner turned into, hey, can you pick some up? Some drinks up on the way. I was like, yes, I can. And we were off to the races.
Sure, absolutely. Well, it's kind of hard to miss it when you display it out there on social media.
I don't give a shit who sees.
And, well, of course you don't.
You know, am I going to get fired?
And you're out there and singing Lita Ford.
I wasn't singing Lita Ford. It wasn't Lita Ford. What was it? It was Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks. Well, all I got to say is that my hat's off to you, to your recovery abilities to recover.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready for today. Since I'm not going to be partying tomorrow, you know, the normal Super Bowl party, I don't know anybody that's even having a Super Bowl party.
Yeah, I know. I heard that. I heard that as a stat that a lot of people who normally would have a Super Bowl party are not having a Super Bowl party.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know me. I've had them. I've had humongous blowouts over here for the Super Bowl, but not this year. You know, one, I'm probably not going to even watch the game. I'm pretty confident in saying I won't be watching the game.
Well, don't we already know what the outcome is going to be?
Well, I would assume the Patriots are going to win by 20, but, you know, I mean, I just don't have any interest. I'm still, you know, my ass is still chapped about the whole kneeling bullshit.
Sure.
That I don't think is going to go away for me. I think they kind of killed my fandom of it to where it is not my favorite sport anymore.
Right.
But on top of it is the game itself is about as non-compelling as anything I've ever witnessed with the Super Bowl. I don't, and it's not just me. I don't think anybody gives a shit about this one unless you live in Philly or Boston. Do you know any? I mean, you work in a workplace. Are people talking about it?
No.
I mean, is anybody saying, "Man, I wonder if Nick Foles is going to fucking light it up"?
You know, the thing is I think that the whole Super Bowl excitement this year doesn't even exist.
Yeah, because there's been so much off the field bullshit, and you know, and just people are sick of, you know, all this political shit, and every time you turn, the fact that you can't watch a game to escape this political horse shit is fucking makes people not want to watch it.
I would agree with you. And, you know, speaking of the sports and the political and all that, I know that you made it very public that you did not watch the State of the Union address this week.
Did not watch it, have not even seen a clip of it.
Yeah, but President Trump had made a statement during the State of the Union address that the flag is to be saluted.
Okay.
And you're to stand during the national anthem. And that's all he said.
Okay.
The next day, headlines.
Racist!
Well, the next day, headlines. President Trump continues his racist attack on the NFL using the State of the Union address.
Yeah, okay.
He continues his racist attack.
At this point, all of the media is such a joke. It's just, you know, the media, the celebrities, all of them. They're it's not even worth being upset about anymore. They're just fucking stupid. At this point, it's like, you know, I think I told you was the State of the Union? It was Tuesday?
It was Thursday, I believe, or Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or Tuesday?
Whenever
it was earlier in the week. Let's just put it that way.
Whenever it was. I went the next morning to all of the major headline, you know, news organizations, CNN.com and FoxNews.com and ABCNews.com and MSNBC. You know, I pulled them all up, Huffington Post, and looked at them. And, you know, there's only one topic that's the lead topic that morning, which is the State of the Union, right? It has to be the number one topic unless a war broke out. And it was like reading different days. That's how different the coverage was from outlet to outlet. You know, and it's like they're all covering the same shit. So if they're all covering the same shit and they're all telling a different story, it's just abundantly clear that none of them are telling a full truth.
That is true. They're not reporting the story as it happened. They're putting their own spin on it.
Yeah. So with that known, and that being such easy knowledge, why would anybody even continue to pay attention to it?
Well, the thing is again, and I made this clear earlier last year, that if I'm going to make my own mind up on what was done or said, I'll actually watch the event.
Yeah.
So I watch the State of the Union address, so I don't need to listen to Fox News or CNN or MSNBC or any of the other news outlets to get their take on it, because I watched the thing and I made up my mind at that point.
Yeah. I mean, do you really give a shit what Brett Baer has to say? Or
Not at all.
Anderson Cooper?
Not at all.
Shit. Who gives a fuck about what any of these fuck? And I'll tell you what, that's one place I will salute Trump, is that he just, instead of relying on it, he'll go to his own fucking Facebook or his Twitter or whatever and just put it out there.
Right.
I don't agree with that all the time because he rants like a fucking loon. but I mean, that's certainly better than putting out just facts. If that guy just put out just facts, it'll never get out to the people. He has to put it out in his own. He has to put his own ideas out there by himself without any media interaction, in order for people to know, right or wrong, what he's thinking.
Well, again, you're kind of reiterating what I said a few weeks ago, that, regardless if you find his tweeting annoying, he can't rely on the media to carry the message.
No, not at all. And I think more people are starting to do that. I think more people that are interested in politics are starting to watch C-SPAN. Watch coverage on C-SPAN.
Well, that's because they're seeing exactly what happened for themselves. Yeah. They're actually watching the event take place.
Mm-hmm. And now I saw this week, and it's just a lone example, so I'm not going to say that this is widespread. It's just one example that I saw this week was you heard that Chachi was accused of diddling Nicole Eggert when she was 14.
She said he outright banged her.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, well, she said we had intercourse.
Oh, good. Nice. Who wouldn't have?
So he got his wee-wee wet in that piece of ass.
When she was 14 or some shit?
That's what she says.
But I like that instead of taking it to the news,
he went to Facebook.
Yeah, went to Facebook Live and I watched a little of his thing, and he said right at the beginning, "This is why I'm doing this, because I can't go to a news outlet and have it not be spun. So here it is. I'm putting it out in my own words. I didn't smash that fucking nubile pussy."
Well, and anymore, and like you, I have not watched any kind of media news probably since last June.
Yeah, I don't watch it.
So I go to YouTube because everything that takes place, whether it's congressional hearings or speeches or rallies or, press conferences, I watch them for myself. I don't rely on the news to tell me what was said.
Yeah. The only time I go to the news is when there's something cool happening in real time, like a murder or something.
Right.
If there's like a mass murder or Black Lives Matter versus whoever they fight, if they're going and they're throwing rocks at each other and shit or shooting each other, man, I'm right there. That's good coverage there.
I agree.
But and the thing about that is you can watch that on any news outlet because they really don't have enough time to actually formulate opinions when they're covering it live.
Yeah, they don't have time to write up a narrative.
That's right. They just have to go, okay, there's shots being fired.
Well, you could be like that one lady that was posted on your Facebook page, how she was an independent.
Yeah, she was good. She had some talent.
We'll have to maybe visit that later tonight if we have enough time.
Yeah, she had some talent. I think she probably got a job immediately at the TV station.
Yeah, she looks like she would fit right in at CNN.
Yeah, well, she does have she's got the look clearly, and I mean, and she's carrying a fancy camera with her. She was ready to go. She did a fine job reporting.
Local murder, Chris will tune in.
Yeah, I will. I'm not going to lie. If that's going on, all right, there's a show out there called Black Mirror. You have not watched it, I'm assuming.
I'm aware of it, but I have not watched it.
Well, it's kind of like the Twilight Zone. It's like episodic, but it's like one episode equals one story. Okay, it's not like the typical binge watch. Okay, and the first episode of the show is these terrorists kidnap the kid that is like the royal family's kid or something, and they won't release the daughter. They're going to kill the daughter. if the king or the prince, the Prince Charles guy, doesn't fuck a pig on live television. Like an actual pig, not like just some fat broad.
So he's supposed to fuck a pig?
He has to fuck a pig on live television.
All right.
And if he does that, then they'll release his daughter unhurt. And, he stalls for a little bit because he can't bring himself to fuck a pig. So then they send him a cut-off finger of the daughter. And, to convince him that he better do it. So he has to make the moral decision. And he makes the moral decision that he'll fuck the pig on live TV, instead of letting his daughter be killed.
Okay.
But I was watching it. My daughter was over here. We were watching it. And, because that's the kind of father-daughter moment you need to have.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you want to sit and share TV time with your daughter. Say, right. Hey, that guy's going to fuck a pig on live TV. Did you see this already?
Exactly. That's exactly it. But my daughter asked me, she goes, as the plot was playing out, she was like, if that was on TV in real life, would you watch it? And I couldn't say yes fast enough. I would absolutely be tuned into that. Would you? What would you tune in?
Well, I think by nature, most people would say absolutely yes, because it's an anomaly, and it's like, wow, that's something we've never seen before.
Yeah. Would you watch it again on YouTube, like later that afternoon?
It depends on how intriguing it was the first time. I mean, really. I mean, I go back to that clip on the 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
That I play on the show sometimes about fucking a horse.
Right.
He goes, we were thinking we're going to go see a woman fucking a horse, and when we get there, it's kind of gross. It's a woman fucking a horse.
Yeah.
And then we were just like, we kind of felt bad for her.
Yeah. But until you see it.
And it wasn't as cool as we thought.
No. But until you see it, you can't make that judgment. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, I've told this, I think I've told the story on the air about how I used to go to the sex shows in Korea, where you could go for like $10 a guy. You'd go with like 10 people, and you each would pick out a chick. And then they would take you in a room and they would do like a sex show before they fucked you. And that was a little creepy sometimes because, you didn't know what the trick was that each girl was going to do. They would like get up on a little table and do a trick.
Sure.
And one of the tricks might be putting a roll of quarters up her snatch and then putting 50 cents in everybody's hands or something. Like being able to manipulate her pussy to drop 2 quarters into each person's hands or whatever.
Okay.
Another would be like to tape 3 cigarettes together and flex her pussy to make the cigarettes, the cherry go red on the cigarettes.
Right.
And another might be to throw ping pong balls, and another might be to snap off a 1-inch round candle, snap it in half or into pieces or something. And we would, now for me, who's a perv, the sound of that sounds great. It's like, oh, I can't wait to see this fucking debauchery, right? But then once you get there, and especially if the girl that you picked is the one doing the candle breaking, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to put my dick in there in like a half hour. You really get a different thought. To where, maybe it would have just been better if I didn't know this at all.
Tijuana, Mexico, and we thought it'd be fun, to go to this show. Everyone's, you got to check out one of these shows. And, it's a woman fucking a horse. We get there, and, we think it's going to be awesome, and it is not as cool as it sounds like it would be, man. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
You think a woman fucking a horse, and you get there, and it's a woman fucking a horse.
Yeah.
It was really giving it to her. And you know what? To be honest, I felt bad for her. We all just felt bad for her.
Yeah.
Kind of felt bad for the horse.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah, that is something.
So there you are.
Yep.
So it's not always that cool.
No. Chick getting fucked by an animal is not cool. Just gonna say, chick fucking dog, chick fucking horse, not so much.
Yeah, you build things up in your head, and then actually get there, and it's just like, it's not exactly what I thought.
Yeah, I know. It just everything about it, even. And especially the dog one, where the dog is smaller than the woman. That's just not good. It's just not a good picture. Just seeing a little fucking, especially if it's like a little rodent dog, one of those little small dogs.
Right.
Just fucking climbing up on her and sticking its little dick in her, and his nose like a wiener dog or something, and
just hammering away.
Yeah, it's hammering away, and its nose is stuck in her belly button because that's all the bigger it is. It's just not a good picture.
Right.
Kind of looks like Alien fucking coming out of a woman's stomach and just found something lower to eat.
Sure.
It's like, ugh, yuck.
So there's a message for you, kids. If you think you're going to go see some exotic show, might not be so exotic.
Yeah, it might not be what you're thinking.
Look at Tanner Boyle in the chat room.
It's good. Is that Nancy Pelosi?
Yeah, I think that's who that is. She's fucking with her dentures again.
Is that her at the State of the Union?
I think so.
That picture is fucking brutal.
I know. She's sitting there, Skeletor sitting there, moving her dentures around.
Yeah.
The whole time.
What a fucking cow she is. Ugh, boy, that's one that could have an aneurysm and I would just cheer.
Absolutely.
Oh.
What? Well, isn't that some kind of a Korean delicacy?
Not that I ever had.
That isn't eating like the brain of a monkey or something, or
it looks like they literally stuffed the head of the
octopus
in her asshole.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yum.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tax Nation squid pussy.
Yeah, well, maybe. I think it's squid ass, actually, because you can see a little bit of pussy in the split in the tentacles.
Who knows what's going on there?
I think that's in her asshole, friend.
Who knows?
Wow.
People do some whack ass shit.
Yeah. All I know is she's got kind of weird tits if you look forward.
Our chat room never fails to entertain.
No, it does not.
Yeah, there's that picture Kendall's put in there.
It's so funny.
I'll just sit here and look stupid while adjusting my dentures.
Well, even if she wasn't adjusting her dentures, she'd still be sitting there looking stupid.
Yep.
She's one stupid cunt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
Wow. So what else is happening in the world of Chris Aiken this week?
Nothing. I was in bed most of the first half of the week, and then I worked the second half, and then I was out drinking, and that's it.
Wow.
That's my exciting life this week. Making money, being sick, and then getting hammered.
Well, as long as you're not sick of making money and getting hammered for it.
No, not at all. I've enjoyed, sick or not, I have enjoyed the last week and a half making a lot of coin.
That's good.
That's real good because I'm pretty much set all the way till like June as far as money. So I'm like, yeehaw, I don't have to do a whole lot. I could maybe take a little vacation.
Well, there you go. Well, speaking of a little vacation, and it's not that it's that far from you. Actually, it's very close to your other business, the PA Pinball Palace. Our good friends Sammy Lee and the band Red Rain are going to open up for docking at Jurgles.
Yeah, I heard.
And about 10 minutes away from your pinball museum.
Yep.
In March. I believe it's March 14th.
Yeah, somewhere in March, yeah. It's like a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's really weird that it's a Wednesday. I know it's a rescheduled date. I believe they were supposed to play there in October.
Okay.
And it's a rescheduled event, but Sammy Lee and the boys are making the trip up from Richmond, Virginia to open up for docking on a Wednesday night in the Pittsburgh area.
Nice.
So do you plan on attending?
I do, actually. I have chatted with Sammy, and I invited him and the boys out to play pinball if they get in town early enough. And I'm going to reach out to Don and John as well to see if they want to come out and play some pinball or maybe do a meet and greet or something.
Yeah, they have a tendency to fly in the day before.
Yeah.
And so they may come in on a Tuesday night. So if you can get Don out of bed on Wednesday, because Don has a tendency to like to sleep in until like an hour or so before he has to get in the van and go to the venue.
Yeah. I'm sure we can work that out.
Sure.
If he wants to. I know John might come out and play if Don doesn't, but If we did a meet and greet, Don would show.
Yeah, I would imagine he would.
So, maybe we'll do that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I haven't reached out to Don yet. I'm going to probably tomorrow and see what he wants to do, if anything.
But Sammy and the boys, I guess they were busy shooting a music video for, I believe the song was Red Rain.
Okay, yeah.
And I think it's Red Rain. I think that's what he told me. But I could be wrong. You can correct me, Sammy. I know he's in the chat room. But, Red Rain carrying on from last year's success. And they're, lining themselves up to get a little more exposure this year and perhaps start on some new music.
Right.
I spoke with Sammy the other day, Thursday, I believe. And we chit-chatted a little bit, and they've got some plans for this year. So hopefully they'll continue with their success with Chipster PR.
Yeah, no doubt.
And get out there and play some live shows and at least get some exposure. And I know that they're very excited for opening up for Dawkins, since that is a big influence in that band.
Sure.
So, I hope I don't think I can make it on a Wednesday in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, what?
I would like to go, but unfortunately it is the middle of the week. Now, if it was on a Friday, I'd make the effort to get out there, but middle of the week, it's kind of a little difficult.
Well, you are the number one guy at your place. I mean, you just tell them people, hey, I'm leaving. I
like to remain the number one guy, and the reason I remain the number one guy is because I rarely take time off. So,
right.
So that's how that works. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, I got a Blackie Lawless story for you.
You do? You just broke in with a Blackie Lawless story?
Yeah, only because you guys always put down Bret Michaels and Vince Neil, which both of those guys are dicks. But I did see a story that you guys had said about Blackie Lawless being cool. So I got a shithead, fucking badass Blackie Lawless story for you.
Is this a personal story or just something that's third hand here?
No, it's personal. I saw him in concert 6 years ago.
Oh, 6 years ago. Okay.
6 years ago, St. Pete, Florida, Janice Landing. Probably the best freaking venue ever.
Which is owned by former Lynyrd Skynyrd singer, his wife.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's where Janice Landing comes from.
No, okay, we're not talking about Jacksonville. We're talking about St. Pete.
Well, that's what Janice Landing is, isn't it?
In St. Pete, yes.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing. We went to go see, WASP. The backing tracks kept skipping behind him when he was singing on stage. So it was a horrible freaking concert. Horrible. I mean, every other song, let me just say this, every other song, the backing tracks kept skipping. I mean, it was supposed to be about an hour and a half show. It was about a 45-minute show. Blackie gets off stage, WASP, his band, leaves the stage. We go out by the tour bus, and if you've ever been to Janice Landing in St. Pete, there's a bar to the left. You have the venue, and then the bus pulls up right in front. So we went to the bus. I had a couple of CDs. I was going to ask for him to sign. We waited out in front of the bus for about maybe 30, 45 minutes. Blackie's not on the bus. I guess he's pissed off inside, talking to the promoters at this time. And you got to understand Janice Landing. If you guys have never been there, never seen it, the entrance where the bus is, when you go to the gates to get into the outdoor venue, the bus is right out front. So you're probably talking about maybe 15, 16 feet to get from the door to the bus. So Blackie does end up coming out after the rest of the band left, his group, whatever. And Blackie, there's fans out there. There's probably I would say about a good 20, 25 fans waited for autographs or to meet him, whatever. Blackie comes out and goes, hey, I need a car. They pull an SUV in front of the gates to get in this venue. Blackie gets into the SUV. It's a black SUV. It pulls up. The bus is only 5 yards away. So Blackie makes this black SUV back out of the entrance, pull up next to his bus, only 5 yards, gets out, has bodyguards around him, and says, "I won't sign any autographs for these peasants. Get me to the bus."
He said peasants?
He said peasants.
Wow.
So, and here's the thing. Let me backtrack a little bit. He had some guys in his band. I really don't know their names. I guess they're hired, touring musicians, whatever. And they said that he was inside. He'd get out and sign, whatever. And so we all waited by the bus. And there's a good 20 people, so that's a lot, I guess, for an artist. If it was maybe, I don't know, less than 10, maybe he would have signed. But here's what gets me. The venue, the entrance to the venue, okay? From the entrance, you're probably talking a good 16, 16, not 16 blocks, but like 16, I guess the word I'm looking for is like 16
yards,
yeah, to the bus. He gets in the black SUV. They pull out. They drive 5 yards from the entrance because it's like a long entrance to the arena, right? So he drives 5 yards to the bus, is where we were at. Gets out and says, "I won't sign any autographs for any peasants or take pictures."
Am I experiencing deja vu here, or did you just say that?
I'm sorry?
I believe this. I believe this story. I do.
Yeah, I do.
But the reason why I'm calling is because I was actually on YouTube the other day, and I was watching like a past Blackie story, and you guys were like, "Oh, Blackie's this, Blackie's that. He's a great guy, nice guy." And when I saw that, that's what made me wait till Saturday night to give you guys a call, because he's not that nice. And I've met him twice. The first time, he wouldn't sign for anybody because they had a Sharpie. He asked everybody for a blue point pen. Nobody had a blue point pen because we had blue and black ink Sharpies for him to sign, right? Mm-hmm. Well, he decided he didn't want to sign with a blue point Sharpie or a black point Sharpie. He would only do a blue point pen, so nobody had one. So he refused to sign. That was 2 years prior at the same goddamn venue. So for a guy to drive 5 yards to avoid fans, to get into a tour bus, and when he got out, again, this is St. Pete, Florida, man. I'm not lying here. I'm telling you the truth. Mm-hmm. St. Pete, Florida. He gets out of the black SUV.
Yeah, 5 yards,
bodyguards, right? And he goes, "Listen,
did he call you guys?
I'm not signing or
taking any
pictures from any peasants."
Yeah.
Dude, I get it, but we can only tell stories of our experiences.
Now,
yeah, I get it.
Now, to reiterate a little bit for you, the first time I encountered Blackie one-on-one, he was a complete dick. Same exact attitude. I had a couple of things I wanted to sign. He acted like he was totally put out about it. He signed it, but he just was real begrudging about it. But until the second time that I actually interviewed him one-on-one and gained his respect, then he treated me like one of the bros. So the first time, not a great experience. The second, third, and fourth time treated me like we were old friends.
So what you're saying, Neely, is that I should be in social media? I should be a member of the media?
No, not at all. No.
It's he'll treat me great, but for him to drive 5 yards in a black SUV get on a tour bus and call us peasants, I guess being a fan.
Well, at that point that when I met him, he didn't know me from Adam, but then again, like I said, when I got familiar with him and he knew me by sight or by name, the whole attitude changed. And I'm not making excuses for it at all. I'm just telling you that that's the nature of the beast.
So your thoughts on Blackie as a person since you interviewed him? I mean, like, what kind of guy is he? Because, like I said, I saw him twice. The same venue, 2 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
Attitude.
He drove like 5 yards with an SUV, too,
5
right?
yards. Yeah, in a
nice.
black SUV.
And he called you guys peasants.
Peasants.
Jeez.
He says, I will not sign an autograph or take a picture with these peasants. And there was a good 20 people. Now, again, not, I'm not bashing the guy. I'm just saying that maybe 20 fans hanging outside of his tour bus was too much for him. I get it. Maybe he had a bad experience because the backtrack, because he, he has backtracking, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he goes on stage. I mean, that's not his real vocals. He's just lip syncing. And but anyway, I mean, the thing about it is that he had a bad night. I get it. So I gave the guy that much credit. He could have walked 5 yards to a tour bus, but to get into a black SUV and drive 5 yards to a tour bus and then get out and say, I'm not taking any autographs, or I'm not taking any photos, and I'm not going to sign any autographs for these peasants, was shit, man. So that's a laugh. That'll be it, man.
Dude, what do you think would have been a better course of action for him to take, considering that he had a bad night, was in a bad mood?
Well, in a bad night...
I think your manager said you had to go.
Oops.
Wow.
Guess you lost the connection.
I guess. Must have lost the connection. Jesus. Well, there you are. Blackie, not such a great guy.
Apparently not.
Damn him.
No.
All right. It's funny that people will dig up something that we did, God knows how many years ago.
I know. But that's fine. Look, I know we're fucking with that guy, clicking out and whatnot, but I mean, okay, that's fine. Blackie was an asshole to you. We get it. He's been good to us.
Well, he was an asshole to me.
I mean, look, our friend Don Dokken has long been accused of being a cunt. I mean, media-wide, look at any story that ever posts about Dokken.
Well, even if you read the comments on Blabbermouth, even to this day.
That's what I mean. And it'll all just be, oh, Don's a fucking dick. Fucking guy, he punched out some lady's mother. I mean, the stories go bigger and bigger and bigger every fucking time. But we can't, and we can only judge on how people are to us. Okay, Blackie was a dick to you. So in your mind, he's a dick. He's been nice to me, so he's not a dick to me. Now the next time I interview him, he might be an absolute asshole. Probably will be if we talk to him about this fucking re-idolized garbage.
Right.
Oof. I mean, it sounds good. I don't know if you heard that or not, but it sounds good, but he changed all the profanity. He re-recorded the Crimson Idol without the profanity.
Well, he's a born-again Christian now.
Yeah, but how is that a gift to the fans?
It's not. But he sanitized it, obviously, based on his morality now.
Yeah, here's your 25-year anniversary to celebrate this. We're going to edit it and, and clean it up for you.
Yeah.
Ugh.
See, but I don't understand the whole re-recording of anything. You can't re-record a classic. It's just like trying to remake a classic movie.
Yeah.
How many movies, classic movies that have been remade that you go, man, that was better than the original?
Well, that, including today's count, 0.
Yeah. So that's kind of my point.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the point? Why would you re-record a classic?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing over there in Wasp Land. Same, I can't figure out why he even bothered with that. I mean, I get it, 25 years from that album, but you know what? Go play a show and call it a day.
Yeah.
Other than that, no one gives a shit.
I would agree with that. All right. Well, in May 4th, 5th, and 6th,
yes,
you and I will be making a personal appearance hosting the Melodic Rock Fest that takes place in Arlington, Illinois.
I wonder how many people will go away from that saying that we were dicks.
I don't know. But you can go to melodicrockfest.com
right,
and find out about tickets and whatnot and come on out and enjoy that. So if you're in the Chicagoland area and in the very first week of May, you can come out and check out the show.
I expect Andrew McNeese to have an SUV for me to travel from the bar to the stage.
Exactly.
I'm expecting that, you know.
But anyway, melodicrock.com has a lot of great bands that they're going to feature on this bill. And they put out a lot of great music.
Yeah.
And we were recently given a new band called, or a new release from a band called Dogface.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd take us out of this segment with some Dogface.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Well, we're going to play a couple of tunes. Everybody go get a drink. Chris, I think you're still probably still filled up from last night.
I still have some sloshing around in there, that's for sure.
But I'm going to play something from the Dogface release called Unleashed. Dogface Unleashed.
Cool.
Get it? Very clever.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play a tune here called Right Between Your Lies.
Ooh,
Personally, I like Right Between Your Thighs. Not you, Chris, but you get the picture.
And certainly not what's going on in that Blackie Lawless picture.
No, not at all. But here it is. This is Dogface exclusively here
on your classic metal show.